What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Goin Solo. So far up to this point, there's been an initial idea, some songwriting, a full demo, and recording of the final guitar and bass parts. At this point, I'm ready to round out the rhythm section of the song with some drums. Now, there's enough to this that it will be a two-part episode. I have three main ways of getting drums into a song. The first route is to go completely synthetic and use pre-recorded loops or the AI drummer. If you recall from a few episodes ago, the artificial drummer was used to flesh out this song's idea and ended up keeping it through the demo process too. All it would take is just programming some more loops and fills to complete a full drum part of the song. If I'm feeling downright lazy or my gut says that it just sounds right or fits the song, I'll do that sparingly. To make an honest confession, there are a couple of songs on the album that used completely canned drums because they either sounded good enough as is, or I wanted a certain groove or swing to the drums that I couldn't replicate with my own playing style. Back in the day, if I was a well-known artist with a recording deal, my producer would have just called in a renowned session drummer like Jeff Porcaro from Toto or someone like that to lay it down. But I'm low budget, so loops and artificial intelligence, they are my session drummers. The other two methods, though, are ones that this vlog will be focusing on, and each one will get an episode. So in this episode, it will be the electronic drums with a new twist.
Before I finally obtained a real drum set, all of the videos on my channel featured a cheap electronic set that I had first. That set made its own sounds, but I always thought they sounded pathetic. I always used it to trigger real drum sounds through the computer with a USB cable. Now, much like hitting the A on your keyboard sends a signal to the computer which tells the display to put an A on the screen, this electronic set is like a keyboard. It tells the computer to have the drum program play certain sound samples at a certain time and at what intensity. Now, this method always sounds a little robotic because there is never a perfect replacement for the real thing, but the beauty of this method is that these sound samples were played on high-dollar name-brand drums, they were tuned by a professional drum technician, and recorded in a super expensive studio by a highly skilled engineer. They sat there, painstakingly recording one drum hit at a time, from super soft to super hard, so that you can take your electronic set and have that same real feel. These drums may have the occasional robotic or synthetic sound, but the drums themselves sound so much better than anything I can do with my own drums in my room.
So the current problem is that I've worn out this poor electronic set. They don't work that well anymore. So before laying down the electronic version of the drums for this song, I'm going to take the drum control unit and wire snake from that set and turn my real drums into electronic drums by building some homemade triggers for each drum. Then I'll be able to play my real drums electronically too.
After an Amazon shopping spree, I have these little piezo microphones with wires and some jacks to solder them to. Now, to put it simply, these microphones pick up impulses when you hit the drum and sends an electrical signal to the drum controller. So all I have to do is solder one of these microphones to a jack, and then I'll have a trigger. These store-bought drums have triggers like these molded into them. They will pick up the drum hits and send electrical impulses to the drum controller, and the drum controller will then tell the computer what drums to play. There's one. Now I just need to make some more. Now, in order to put them on the drums, all that's required is to mount the jack to the side. In this case, I made a little bracket for the bass drum. And these are temporary, not permanent, so all that's required is to stick the microphone to the drum surface and use some gaffer tape to hold it on. This drum is now electronic. The only thing required now is to take the kick drum plug from the controller and plug it in. On a side note, I was very lucky to find some beater cymbals to make into triggers for this project. I didn't have to use my good ones. Now the only thing required to convert this into an electronic drum set is to repeat that action on all of the drums and cymbals. That's more like it. All drums are plugged into the controller. Controller is mounted on the middle cymbal stand. Let's see what this sounds like.
So let's lay down the drums electronically for the section of the song that we've been focusing on. So, much like the guitar amp simulator, any settings can be changed afterward. The only thing that's been recorded is a bunch of digital numbers, which drum gets played at what time and how hard it's hit. I can change what sounds it plays at any time.
The phone would ring, said I can't go on. A brand new package contains the same old thing, said I can't go on. With each call, these four walls are getting closer by the minute. Can't please them all when your heart is never. Can't live your best years inside a prison cell just 'cause some just do be shackled doesn't mean you must as well. All I know.
Not too bad. How does it stack up against the traditional way, though? Well, be sure to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll find out next time on Goin Solo.